Life Path 3, welcome to your November check-in for some free game. Things are looking really interesting in terms of our willpower and our progress, right, on the things that we're working on. But we're really going to be focusing on relationships, it looks like here. There's the Magician, the Lover's card, and the Three of Swords right along the top. And that shows kind of like there's been a foundational wound that's occurred around the ideas we have on what we can build relationally. So the Magician deals with really having everything that we need. The Lover's card is what it is. And then the Three of Swords shows up. So what I see here is this kind of like almost resentment or I'd say really just like negative feelings or heartbreak around the idea that like, yo, I thought I had everything I need to make this relationship work. It should have worked. All the pieces were there. I was where I needed to be, but there was this like failure, this like this letdown that occurred. And so the Eight of Wands shows up and talks about speed and rapid action. So there might be a little bit of like, because coming under like the Chariot's that Cancer card, there might be a little bit of like emotional get back energy, right? I need to get my lick back, right? Five of Swords shows up after that, and then Six of Wands shows up after that. So there's an interesting play. Maybe somebody kind of betrayed us in public, or this created like this idea that everyone's kind of seeing that I'm let down by this, and as a result, there's a lot of emotional investment. Really, your ego's involved. The Four of Cups shows up and talks about like the need to kind of like detach emotionally from outcomes so that you can properly see what's being presented to you. And so what I'm seeing here with that like fast movement is part of this is probably on you. Part of this is on you for not fully reviewing, not fully getting a feel for the situation. And so that like regret is something that you kind of, there's a suggestion that maybe you should have seen it coming, or that you did and you chose not to believe it. You just wanted to like push your head through it and just go, no, I'm gonna will it out. It's fine, I'll will it out. And as a result, Three of Cups is built, so I think like some personal friendships might have actually been affected by this. Whether it's like, yo, they tried to tell you and you didn't want to listen to them, so now you're like stuck with this thing over here and you don't even want it. It's not what you signed up for. And so we want to get back to this point of self-confidence. We're really concerned about how people see us, which honestly, if I'm being real, that sounds like some three shit. Because the three deals with that creative energy. It deals with the manifestation. It deals with being seen. It's very much like at the front. And so Four of Cups shows up, says that we need to withdraw a little bit. Hanged Man, I think we've been trying to control too much. I think we've been trying to do a little bit too much. And it's bit us in the ass because we actually didn't have a fully developed picture of the dream. So when I look at three energy and it's like, oh, I can create this, but we're sitting in a space of seven with the Four of Cups, the Hanged Man, and the Hermit. It's, yo, yeah, you could create it, but it wasn't the full thing. It wasn't the fulfillment. It's actually funny because the Chariot deals with seven. So you drove so hard to get the result that you knew you wanted, and it wasn't the result you knew you wanted. Because once you started experiencing it, it was like, whoa, hold on a second. This is actually kind of whack. And I might have been taken in by the advertising. I might have been taken in by the branding. Or I did that shit to myself. I was told openly, this is not the advertisement. This is not the brand. This is not the droid you're looking for. And I was like, nah. It definitely is. I'm going to just grab it. Trust me. I know what I want. I think a lot of what's being presented here is we need to sit in silence for a little bit and sit in surrender in order to get to that centerpiece of what we want. Because while other things are around us, while other people, other realities, other possibilities are around us, it's not going to be very easy for us to gain the inspiration required to fully create the thing from self. If you've only been exposed to log cabins as houses, it would never occur to you to make a house out of anything else until you have explored and seen what other people have done, what other people have been able to make houses out of. It doesn't even mean that you're only going to make things out of the materials that you've seen, but seeing the versatility of what can be applied, the versatility of how those resources can be applied to the goal that you have, That's the key piece in figuring out or allowing yourself to be inspired in new ways. So the instability that's occurring here is because we are adhering to a social standard or an expectation around what partnership looks like, what harmony looks like, what relationships and values and passion look like. But if we're just trying to emulate what we saw being really like, what we saw like two celebrities do, then being in a space where, when I'm not a celebrity, they're not a celebrity, neither of us are known for what we're doing. Like, we don't have the math to equal out to that result. And it's not that you can't get there, it's that there's some development required on your part and some soul searching. The Hermit shows up and says, we got some things to think about. We have some things to illuminate. There's some shadow work to be done. And until that shadow work is done, however we show up for relationships is going to be incomplete, because we still have a bit of processing to do. Ace of Swords and the World card says, like, ideas are on their way, but driving towards anything as if it's a set goal is only going to disappoint us, because we're going to have to tear it down and start over again. So with the World card showing up saying like completion and accomplishment and wholeness is on the way, the idea of that is on the way, right? The thing that we need to experience in order to collect the inspiration, to create the structure, that's coming, but it's not here yet. So keep your eyes open. If you're not up and awake and looking, you're gonna miss it. So the word for the next, like, we'll say 4 weeks, is really about keeping your eyes open and seeing the possibilities, and being less concerned with what you feel like you already know works for you, because apparently it doesn't. It does not work for you. So letting go our ideas of what worked so that we can move into a new space where honestly, like, our wildest dreams can come true, because again, that World card shows up. So I'm not just being like facetious and using all like the fortune teller words. There really is a completion or a mission accomplished energy that's on its way. But until we kind of create the calm space to receive that inspiration, we're not going to see which road actually leads us to the objective that we're hunting for. So 3, I'm hoping that helps. And I'm looking forward to seeing where you're at when we circle back around for some free game next month.